in the same area to monitor safety conditions for the Tour of America's Dairyland Bike Race.
Mr. Chair,
Weigel, I will refer to you since you're the expert on this.
if I may, this came up rather quickly. It was actually firmed up at a meeting last weekend, and it was originally planned for the day after on the Wednesday, but on Monday I consulted with various department heads, and that was a garbage and recycling day in that neighborhood, so that would have been a burden, and not an insurmountable burden, but certainly financial burden. So quick consultation with our staff, with our new special event director, Chelsea. I think most of you have maybe met her. And various department heads, police, fire, engineering, and public works, that the 21st will work. So this is a professional bike race. The pros actually race later in the day. It's actually 8 different races during the day of racers from varying skills and abilities. It's part of the Tour of America's Dairyland. I believe this is their 12th or 13th year of doing it, depending on how you count it, with the COVID year off. They run this series. It's professionals. They do this all over southeastern Wisconsin, Wauwatosa, Bayview, Shorewood, Manitowoc, Waukesha, East Troy. I mean, this is what they do. It'll bring a lot of people to our community. I believe some of you have been to maybe the Downer Avenue Classic is the longest running race. It's something that I've been trying to get in the community for 10 years, and I got to thank Mark Lutz, the owner at West Dallas Cheese and Sausage and Beecher Meats, that he's doing the heavy lift on the finances for this. He's essentially covering the race costs and looks like the police fees. So the city's end, other than allowing the use of our streets, is going to be public works costs of barricades and signs. They'll actually print up custom signs for the event, like Beecher Street closed at 71st Street. Yes, there'll be impacts on the neighborhood. I've spoken to most of the impacted business owners, and they've been 100% in favor of it. Have not spoken to the church yet, or one business on 70th and Beecher. I'm not sure what it is. It was a glass shop, and it might be but we'll get in there. But it'll be cumbersome for the neighbors, for the community in that neighborhood on that day. But I think overall it's going to be a very positive event for the community. There will be a certain amount of internal traffic allowed to flow in and out of those 4 blocks. It's 4 blocks, mostly residential, but 2 of those blocks, by the nature of the course and all that, they will not be able to get their cars in and out for that 12-hour period on the day. And it's booked as 12, but it won't go till 10 p.m. The last race starts at, I believe, at 7, and that's the pros. I'm not sure what they did last year, but I know that the last pre-COVID race, they had racers from 14 countries and 42 states. So this will be a real opportunity for people from outside the area to see West Dallas. So, any questions?
Yeah, I have a question, Mr. Chair.
Yes, you'll be able to race, Vince. I got a bike for you.
Do you have the approximate distance they're going to be?
Yes, it's about 1,000 meters. So it's like almost 0.7 of a mile. But it's 8 different races during the day, for different skill levels, and there's amateurs and pros. And I believe the women race separately, so there's a variety of races. There's an opportunity for us or someone to run like a celebrity race or a kids race. There will so likely be a kids race too. I think we're going to try to partner with the school district and any other entities that want to help.
Is the streets already designed?
These races go on city streets. This is like you would have done in Italy, and or they do these races all over the world. Racing on city streets is a very common thing. Potholes make things a little interesting too. So. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll take a look at that. Yeah.
So it'll be like the 50 people at a time, or?
Yeah, probably 50 to 90 racers at a time, and they tend to ride in a big group. I've been going to some of these races for a long time, and they're very exciting to attend. So, unfortunately, there's a council meeting that night, unless enough of you aren't here to. We can't get a quorum together.
Is that a hint?
Yeah, is that a hint?
I feel a
Or
cold coming on.
A direct request?
Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
Alderman Rowe.
Can anybody, I mean, I get it, you're locked down, but can anybody come and go? Can the Amazon driver come and go?
Well, that's a very good, no. I think we're going to, pedestrian traffic will be allowed at part of it, because during the race, I mean, there will be designated places for pedestrians to cross the street.
Okay.
But on that day, well, and the racers come and park somewhere, the spectators come and park somewhere, it will be a little bit of a traffic mess that day. Yes, I don't want to sugarcoat this, but it's one Tuesday in June.
And there will be a lot of.
We're going to market very heavily. Typically the Toad crew will go and hang door tags on every affected residence. I don't know if we're going to do a direct mailer, but I'm assuming we're going to do like multiple door tags. I don't know about knocking on doors. It's several hundred residential units there, but.
Marty Toad is Tour of America's
I'm sorry,
Dairyland.
yeah. TOAD is Tour of America's Dairyland. Quick Trip is their title sponsor. They get a lot of support from the community. Mr. Lutz is going to be soliciting sponsors for individual races, and there's other ways for people to participate. There may even be an opportunity for like nonprofit groups to volunteer to help with the event on event day, and then get a donation back to their group. I think that's being worked out right now. So it'll be a real community event, and as you saw, we're designated a community event, so you'd be able to walk on the street with a beer in your hand that day too. So.
Great. I don't know if any of you have ever been to Bastille Days and seen the bike races down there when they had them, and it's a very popular event, and it brings a lot of people in to watch it. It's exciting, and I think it's a great plus for the city.
Absolutely.
Sir,
Mr. Chair,
Alderperson Rankin.
I totally agree. I think it'll be an exciting adventure for West Allis. We've never had anything like this before. I've never been to a race, so Marty, actually, he invited me special to come and watch the race.
I told her I'd walk her around the course.
The only thing I have to ask is, after all my questions to you, does it take place rain or shine?
I believe they go rain or shine. I'm sure they have a contingency plan based on, say, tornadoes or lightning. That's very common for outdoor events. But this is that kind of sport that they would go rain or shine. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that we'll all look forward to.
Yeah. And they already have an emergency action plan. They have a medical assistance sponsor. The Dairyland team, Tour of America's Dairyland team, Toad this is what they do.
You've indicated Mark Lutz will be a sponsor. Are other sponsors, is it possible for other sponsors
Yes,
also? Because
yeah,
we will be short for our Public Works Department.
The race course itself. Now, I think Mr. Lutz is looking for sponsors to help him on his side. We've kind of committed. We're committing as a community event for us, the taxpayers, to pick up the public works costs. Now, we have the barricades. The custom signs they will print. So there will be some payroll involved in this. But the police costs, which would be like the heavy payroll, Mr. Lutz is picking up. So.
No, I just was wondering if there were sponsorships available.
Well, this is a community event, but we're not running the event. So I guess the question is, how do we sell sponsorship space for an event we're not running? Do you understand? Mm-hmm. If this had been a city event, say when the bid was thinking about doing it, then the bid was sponsoring it and running it and taking on a certain amount of risk, then they would be, in my mind, it would be fair for them to sell, side sponsorship deals. Certainly, if somebody feels generous and wants to write the city of West Allis a check for $400 or something, I think we'd take those anytime. I think there's a donate now page. It's a donate button on our page somewhere. Yeah, but again, this came together rather quickly. as far as my side of knowing about it, we had talked about it in big picture the last couple of years, but it really just came together over the weekend. They actually announced their full calendar this last Tuesday. They wanted to go public with the West Dallas participation last 2 days ago. But I asked them, I said, I don't want to surprise the council and the community with an event that says it's happening when we haven't had a chance to hear about it and weigh in on it. So, although it was on our agenda and people have figured it out, it's not, contracts have not been signed yet. But
Is there any further discussion? Not, is there a motion from someone on the committee to approve?
Motion to approve. Second. Oh, sorry, on the
Any
committee.
discussion? All in favor?
Second.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. That was for items
Marty,
8
I
and
give
9.
you a plus or a bonus.
Thank you for holding that item.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, okay, so just talk it through. Talk it through. Sorry about the second.
Thank you
Just have it
for
now.
allowing me to sit.
And then there's one other item,
Erase it.
if I can find it.
I got lost where I was too. So
Number
number
34.
34.
Yep, there it is. Item 34 is a resolution relative to determination of an application for special use permit for a restaurant to be located at 7629 West Greenfield. It's the one we had the public hearing on this evening.
move approval.
Second.
I think there was a recommendation to change the hours of operation.
That's what I wanted to confirm. I was confused in the public hearing if it was done at 5 or were they wanting to go to 10?
Yeah, what does the,
Within the resolution itself, it does indicate 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
oh, it does.
I just
Okay.
wanted to advise council that
Oh, the
staff
screen
had
was wrong. Yeah.
sort of built that generality into the resolution,
Good.
even though the applicants had volunteered a
Perfect.
much earlier time.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, if I might end,
Alderman Weigel.
are we codifying that dumpster issue or not?
Yes, that's part of our Plan Commission recommendation, so it's a condition of the approval. The architect's going to be submitting revised plans to show the dumpsters behind the building.
And I know the commercial waste haulers usually come at like 7:30 in the morning. But how are they going to,
Get it out?
how are they going to get it out? I mean, I understand they'll roll the thing, they'll roll it
They'll roll it
over the
out.
curb, but what if there's cars parked there? I guess they could roll it down to the crosswalk or,
They'll have
it's a
to-
little cumbersome, I get it.
They'll have to find an opening. Yeah, I guess depending on the hours of the day, they may not. They may be busy. They may not. They'll just have to find that opening
Yeah.
to make it work, or adjust the schedule for pickup. Yeah.
Yeah, or just, yeah, so. Okay, I think that's all I have. Sure. Thank you.
Is there a motion for approval?
Already did that.
Oh, you did it? I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I have a short
That's okay.
memory.
Have it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Is there anything else come before the committee? If not, we are adjourned.
All right, thank you. All right, yeah, I gotta find my spot in the agenda here. The Administration and Finance Committee will come to order, and item 26 is resolution to approve an amendment to the fiscal year 2016-2021 annual plan of the Community Development Block Grant.
Move for approval.
Thank you.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Alderman Weigel.
we had that conversation already. But my question is, the downtown has been trying for decades to get something across Greenfield Avenue. I understand it's a state highway. I understand it's a statewide load. Actually, just like 2 days ago, a giant piece of something came down Greenfield Avenue with the escort vehicles, and it even had telescopic trucks in front, I assume, to raise up power lines as it came by. It was a pretty big piece. But is this gonna help us get something on Greenfield Avenue? I got one business owner on Greenfield Avenue who says he can't die until we get a banner up across because it's been his pet project.
You might live forever then.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I was going to say it's on the bids radar. It still is on the radar, and
On the radar.
it will be for a while, I think. So yeah, it's something that I know we've explored over the years, and there's always been some complication with the compactness and density of the downtown area and with all the
and it was a
underground
matter of
utilities.
financing
And,
too, though.
yeah.
So the bid was kind of instructed, they'd have to come up with a major piece of the finance for it. But apparently in this case, we're using 100% CDBG money for this, correct? So
Yeah.
maybe there's a way for the bid to participate in that manner sometime in the future before that business owner passes on?
The only thing is, this, the lighting project is to benefit a neighborhood, it's a little Monterey neighborhood.
Right.
The whole that we're doing the downtown is to put up a banner.
Yeah, but the reality is the lighting is not going, yes. The lighting is going in a business, a block of businesses on Beecher. Yeah. So,
It is.
thank you.
So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. And then item 27 is a resolution to update the fee schedule for fire department fees for February 2022. I can explain that this is just a change. It's not going to be an increase in fees. Actually, it's just a change in the apportionment of fees. There was a $15 surcharge that the fire department charged, and now that's just being added to the fee itself. And if you'd like a further explanation, then I'll punt. But then I can tell you that that's the situation here.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Then I'll take items 28 and 29 together. They're both claims, one by Home Depot USA and the other by Wild Family Limited Partnership regarding excessive assessment. And Kayla, can you tell us about that, please?
Sure. The Home Depot and Wild Toyota, both around Highway 100, challenged their assessments for the last few years. These are settlements of those lawsuits. Essentially what happens is our assessor goes through and attempts to assess based on information available to the assessor at the time. During these lawsuits, we often, through discovery processes, learn a little more information, and if that yields a lower result, we put that into place, and that's what happened here. So with some additional information provided, we felt the assessments could be lowered, yet maintain the integrity of the revaluation that took place in 2019. So that is the reason that settlement is proposed for both of these cases.
So can I have a motion for
approval?
Second.
For both items,
both
28
items.
and 29?
Right.
For both,
Thank you.
yes.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Is there anything else to properly come before the committee? Have a motion to adjourn?
Motion adjourned.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, we're adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.